Welcome!
Welcome to the Omniverse of Nick, and Part 4 to What If a Cell Jr. Survived. Before we get into it, be sure to check out the Omniverse's homepage, where our channel mascot Omni will direct you to the Discord, both Google Docs, and everything else the Omniverse has to offer, along with smashing the like button, subscribing to the Omniverse of Nick, sharing the Omniverse around and turning on all Omniversal notifications, and commenting future requests and expectations in the comments section. With all that said, let's begin. We open up where we ended off last time. The Cell Jr. has put himself in front of Deborah, seemingly killing him and advancing to stage 3, ready to give Babidi the last little bit of energy for Majin Buu and get his revenge on Gohan. Gohan should have expected this. If not, Cell, one of his offspring, definitely survived. Because Cell would not make purple Cell Juniors. That wouldn't be possible unless it was some kind of power-up of Cell. He should have known that this was a Cell Junior he neglected to completely destroy. Goku and Vegeta, though, are shocked by this, completely dumbfounded at the fact one Cell Junior would have survived. But the Cell Junior, who powers immediately, showing his super perfect adult body, says, "This is the same power that you faced my father 7 years ago, boy. But you neglected to finish the job with a far weaker variant of any Cell Junior that you have yet met. It seems that you were able to defeat my offspring with a higher power just as you killed my brothers and almost killed me. I'm quite surprised that you even made it this far." And he shoos a hand away, shooing the fact of all the Majins and Babidi and everything, and says that he only went along with everything with Babidi and everyone in this whole Majin Buu territory so he could get his hands on Gohan once and for all and get the revenge that his father and his brothers were not able to. And now Gohan will progress no further. And he says if he truly wants to finish this whole fight and end the legacy of Cell and the Cell Juniors, he will face him one-on-one alone. He expects his father, who is supposedly dead in here, which he cares not about, and Vegeta, and this Supreme Kai person. That's why he shooed the others away, right? If that's so, he will not let anyone interfere with the fight he should have finished 7 years ago. But Shin wants to know something. Where is Deborah? Because he knows that he's here. Where is he? Surely he would have gotten there first. Because apparently this Cell Jr. seems way stronger than Deborah. So surely Deborah should have come first. And the Cell Jr. says, "That Demon King you are so afraid of and your little helper, he didn't even last a second before I blew him to Kingdom Come." And Shin is utterly dumbfounded at this, that anyone could kill Deborah. But Goku says he should have known. He should have known that if he was at full power, he could have taken down the Cell Juniors. And if Gohan had been a little bit more careful, none of them would be looking at them right now. But he tells Gohan he does not fault him for this, but he also knows this adult super perfect Cell Junior makes Cell and every other Cell Junior far outclassed 10 times combined. So he tells Gohan that Super Saiyan 3 power of his, he knows about it. He just flat out says it, but he doesn't say he's unlocked it. He knows the drawbacks of it, though, and he knows Gohan can't achieve it right now because it is far too taxing on his body, and he knows that it was likely a one-time thing. And he says to Gohan, even with all his Super Saiyan 2 power, this Cell Jr. is far stronger than that and could be holding back even more. He tells Gohan they have to fight him together. This is the first time he agrees with Shin that they all need to fight together. But Gohan says, "No, father, this is my job. This is my problem, and this is my responsibility and work to take care of." And he gets into a fighting stance and says he is angry at himself. He was so taxed on that anger that not only did he sacrifice himself, Goku, but he let one part of a Cell Jr. live. And that's what's brought them to this point of almost all of them dying. And especially his dad dying twice. And in that case, he'd never be able to show up in spiritual or physical form again. He says he will never put that hold or responsibility or downfall of another person he loves in danger ever again. He will finish what he started 7 years ago, and he will do it the right way, and he will never allow anyone to get hurt on his pride, arrogance, or anger again. And he powers to Super Saiyan 2 and says, "You're right, Cell Jr. I did neglect to finish you properly. But this time, you will not get away with even a fingertip left after I'm done with you. And you'll wish that I hadn't killed your father, because I'm going to make sure the pieces I left him with after I killed him, you won't even have a speck of your being left." And he tells his dad and Vegeta, "Do not get in my way." And this is a new side of Gohan. It's not a furious side, and it's not an overconfident side. It's a burned up, resolved side. And Cell Jr. says, "Confidence. But I've seen that before. I saw it in your eyes when you killed my brothers. I saw it in your eyes when I looked through Bobity's crystal ball, when you killed my father. And I saw it in your eyes when you achieved a higher power again and killed my children. Let's see if you can back up that talk." And the fight begins. Gohan rushes forward and prepares to attack. The Cell Jr. teleports, and Gohan senses the Cell Jr. And in a speck of a moment, he powers a punch. Right as the Cell Jr. teleports, ready for a backslap like Cell did to Vegeta, but the Cell Jr. blocks the anticipated punch from him teleporting and going to attack Gohan. He blocks it, and then shoots a mouth beam. And this instantly puts Gohan on the ground, in base form, injured. So already, he has dodged the first punch from Gohan, and already, just 20 seconds into the match, Gohan is on the ground. But he powers straight back up into 2. And then he roars with anger, aura, and power. And then he flares up his aura even more until that gigantic ray of aura and power shows up just like it did outside the ship. And he's trying to achieve Super Saiyan 3, but it's barely even false Super Saiyan 3. Like Goku said, Gohan's a novice at it, and unlike my other stories, he can't bear it at will because he's much stronger. It was out of luck in this story. So, all he can flare up is the max amount of Super Saiyan 2, breaking his limits until he's just about a little bit stronger than his canon self when he was shooting what is about to be now a Super Saiyan 2 Kamehameha. And the Cell Jr. just smiles. Says, "Really? You're going to try that trick again? Even if you have 2 arms, you clearly don't understand." As he stances for his own Majin Super Perfect Kamehameha. Solar Kamehameha, if I'm being more specific. He says, "You should have known. If you barely hold a Kamehameha with one arm with the help of your father, What makes you think even with 2 arms you can even make your Kamehameha reach mine? And Gohan just doesn't even care. He goes and fires the beam as the Cell Jr. fires his. Babidi knows that if these two fire those attacks, the ship will be destroyed and Boo will be released prematurely, and he might die also. So he teleports them away. But where he teleports them is very interesting. He teleports them to a blue variant and a dimension of a blue Cell Games arena. So basically, think of this as a fan made reality of if the Cell Jr. made the Cell Games. So, yeah. And they both fire the Kamehamehas. And right away, it's a huge beam and collision of Kamehameha, just like Gohan and Cell. And the beam just sits there. Neither side is over the others. But then the Cell Jr. just shows off a little bit more of his power, and Gohan realizes he can't hold this energy. It makes Cells look like a joke, and he's putting everything he has. And the Cell Jr. says, I told you, my father could never even touch me, even with all his power. Not even with all of my own brethren and his put together with him could he even touch what I am. And you'll see why you should have buried my specks of my body in the dirt with my father and my brothers when you had the chance, boy. But Gohan finds the rage, the urge, the power, and the resolve to flare up his aura and unlock Super Saiyan 3 once again. And with this gives him the edge he needs and flares his Kamehameha even higher. And it actually begins to reach the Cell Jr. But the Cell Jr. is amazed he could even attempt to power into this form once again, even in his shape. But didn't he tell Gohan? Gohan's using every little bit he has. The Cell Jr. hasn't even used 20%. If anything, he'll just excel to 50%. So he shows Gohan why he could never compare to what he is now. And he flares past 50%. And Goku yells, Gohan! As Gohan tries to flare up even more with Super Saiyan 3. But his whole body just engulfs in white energy, and he goes right back to base. And the Cell Jr. just laughs and says he doesn't even need 50%. But the boy, he's going to make sure what he did to his father is done to him, but worse. And he flares his Kamehameha, and it completely evaporates Gohan's. Goku shows off Super Saiyan 3 for the first time as Vegeta flares past Super Saiyan 2, and they both rush with Goku using instant transmission, and Supreme Kai just getting as far away from the collision as possible as the Kamehameha explodes and evaporates an entire engulfment of the area in which they're in. Gohan's in base now and completely out of energy, as Goku with Super Saiyan 3 and Vegeta and Super Saiyan 2 prepare to take Gohan's place. The Cell Jr. just laughs and says, if you couldn't beat my children or my father's children before, and you couldn't even get to my father's level, what makes you think you'll even come close to where your son couldn't, Goku? Vegeta doesn't even have Super Saiyan 3. All you're doing is delaying the inevitable. And meanwhile, Boo's ball begins to flare up with smoke, and Babidi sees Majin Buu is at full power. The ball opens, seemingly nothing yet, but then Majin Buu shows to have been awakened as Buu and Babidi make their way towards the area. And with this, does our group even stand a chance? Will the Cell Jr. put past his pride with Gohan to team up with the Z Fighters until Buu is defeated? If the Cell Jr. even stands a chance, since we don't know all of what he's capable of, could he possibly defeat Majin Buu? Or is Majin Buu just so powerful that it's put our group into almost the same canon situation, or just an even worse one compared to what happened in canon? And how will this furtherify and cement what's about to be going down the line of the Cell Jr.'s survival?
Now get out!
What?
Get out! Everybody get out!